Good evening, this is Sue for PMTV at the Dusit Thani, Pattaya for the inauguration reception for the new Swedish Consulate here. In a moment, I'll be talking to the consul as well as the ambassador of Sweden to Thailand.
I'm Claes Molin, I'm the Swedish ambassador to Thailand, and I am thrilled, delighted, very happy and honored to be here tonight to inaugurate our new consul offices here in Pattaya. Stepping out from Bangkok, shall I say, into the evening here with a nice evening breeze right on the beach makes me want to suggest several new consul openings in the near future. Perfect setting. Thank you very much to all of those who have worked very hard to make tonight happen and to make it the success that I'm sure it will be. Thank you also to you, the communities, the Swedish, the Thai-Swedish community, and also, and perhaps foremost in many ways, to our counterparts, our colleagues and friends in the Thai civil service, the police, the customs, immigration, all of those in hospitals, in administration, everywhere. And I know, and I see many of you here tonight, I know there are many, many more who every day make our life, and above all and much more importantly, the life of Swedish citizens traveling here, living here, that much more enjoyable and easier. Thank you very much. And tonight is definitely also one humble way of thanking you for your cooperation and friendship. We couldn't do this if we didn't have the right people. And in Pattaya, we have and have had not just the right person, but we continue to have very good representation. We have two consuls here tonight, the departing and the new, as you probably all know. And I would like to ask them at this stage, 10 or 11 or so years after the first opening, in 2004, Dr. Sanya became the Swedish consul here in Pattaya. And he's remained in that important position since, for 10 years, serving us and the Swedish community and our interests, our common interest, in a wonderful way, in a very important job for us and for the community. Dr. Sanya is no stranger to anyone here tonight, I know. He, of course, as our consuls, showing the importance of the position, are accepted by no other than His Majesty, the King of Thailand, in a formal procedure which extends also the credentials, the exequatur, that is the formal acceptance and formal sign of the elaborate and very important position. The Swedish king signed that, and the Swedish king, His Majesty Carl XVI Gustav, have also, in the case of Dr. Sanya, more recently, since signing his credentials, also signed something that we would now like to bestow on Dr. Sanya as a token, an important token of our appreciation and our great respect, and that of His Majesty, which is the order, the first officer of the Polar Star of Sweden, Nordstjärneorden.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Claes Molin, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm all choked up. It's been a great honor and privilege to have represented the Kingdom of Sweden as Honorary Consul for the last 10 years. And with this medal tonight, it further extends the honor which I feel deeply and will be definitely a credit to the family. I thank the Ambassador for delivering this medal, and also His Majesty King Carl Gustaf and the government of the Kingdom of Sweden. It's not been an honor and a privilege only, but it's been a pleasure and an education.
Tonight, I'm standing here in front of you, grateful and honored for the trust that you have placed both in my country and me, as I humbly accept my new position as Honorary Consul for the Consulate of Sweden in Pattaya. This appointment gives me the personal privilege to be able to serve the local Swedish community, as well as the Swedish communities, whilst fostering friendship between our countries and promoting both our royal nations.
And here I am with the great honor to be standing with the Ambassador of Sweden to Thailand, Mr. Claes Molin. Hello, sir.
Good evening. It's a great honor to be here with you.
And congratulations for the new office for the consulate.
Thank you very much. It's a wonderful occasion. It's very auspicious. We're very happy to be moving into new and very modern, and we think very appropriate and practical new offices here in Pattaya.
But actually you have a consulate here already for the last 10 years?
We've been here as long as anyone has been here in an official capacity. Ours was the very first consulate actually to open in Pattaya in 1993. So over 20 years, well over 20 years.
So what are the needs of the people, the residents and the tourists here for the consulate here? What do they come for?
They vary, those needs vary, and of course there's a large number of people with different needs to begin with. The consulate serves the community, of course, in various ways. We have the residents, Swedish nationals, but residing in Thailand, usually for quite some time in Pattaya and in surrounding provinces. Many of them have been here a long time. They are still Swedish citizens and perhaps, for instance, receiving Swedish pension from home. They need a certification that they are indeed alive and well, or well enough, and the consulate helps them with that, meets them and also stamps and approves those certificates. The consulate serves as a place to go and vote. Sweden just held elections, something that's very dear and very important to, I would like to say, every Swede. And we had almost 90% participation in the election. It was just earlier in September, 3 weeks ago. And the consulate was open for voting. It served as a polling station for the election. Another thing that, of course, the consulate is instrumental in doing, together with the professionals in the embassy in Bangkok, is helping people when they unexpectedly get into trouble. Could be illness, could be accidents, things like that. And of course that pertains also to the tourists, the many tourists from Sweden who come here and perhaps do not have the same safety net as residents.
That's very useful. Is it for the Eastern Seaboard or just Pattaya?
No, it's for the Eastern Seaboard and surrounding provinces.
And Your Excellency, what about you, sir? You've been in Thailand for 3 years, and before this you were not in Burma, but Burma falls under the umbrella of the Swedish embassy in Thailand, right?
It does. It's very appropriate that we're hearing some ABBA music in the background tonight. Myanmar is one of the 4 countries that the regional embassy of Bangkok looks after. We also have Thailand, of course, as this is our place of residence, where we also have not just Pattaya served by Consulate, but also Phuket, Hua Hin, and Chiang Mai. So all in all 4 consulate and a large embassy. But Myanmar, Lao PDR, and also the Philippines is actually covered from our embassy in Bangkok. Before I came here 3 years ago, I was Director General for Asia and the Pacific in the Foreign Ministry in Sweden. So I had a wide responsibility, geographic and functional, for all of our relations with Asia and the Pacific. But this is actually my second tour in Thailand, so I'm a returnee of sorts. I served here in my first posting over 25 years ago.
All right, and still enjoying it?
Very much so. I love being here, quite frankly.
And what about the economy part of the deal? How many major, I wouldn't say how many, what's the investment like from the Swedish companies in Thailand?
It's traditionally very, very strong. We have a very good and active business community. We have large investments going back over 100 years by now. One of the first and largest companies to establish here and actually through sales originally, but then through investment, was Ericsson, a well-known telecom company. Many. But also not just the telephones, but everything that goes into making a phone call, if you will, and routing them, etc. But many companies have followed suit, and I would say I dare say all the big brand names, the household names are here. None mentioned, none forgotten, but they are very happy to be here with manufacturing, assembly, sometimes export to other markets. AEC, the ASEAN Economic Community that's coming up next year, is a big boon, I would say, for these companies. There are some challenges, some bumps in the road here as well as in other places, but on the whole, the relationship is very sound and the companies very happy here, on the whole.
Yeah. So I was just going to ask, with the bumps on the road, like come rain or shine, do they still have full trust in Thailand?
I would say so. It's a very competitive world out there, and of course many countries, other middle-income countries who are developing fast, where perhaps costs are less, are coming up as potential competitors. This is nothing new. Thailand has emerged also as a competitor to others earlier, and is moving, and successfully I would say in many areas, into new Thailand, moving into new areas, value added, more services, etc., and more skilled things that require skilled workers. It is a competitive field out there, and I think uncertainty is always said to be not good for business, and I think Swedish companies and Thailand is no exception to that rule. So of course having certainty of the rules and knowing as much as one can expect to know about developments is important. A legal framework, rule of law, etc. are also very important, that you can take your grievances, if there are any, for adjudication. Things like that. A stable, in that sense, predictable, I should say, climate is always good for business. But that is definitely the story of Thailand historically and traditionally. And at times there are difficulties, as we know, here and elsewhere. And historically, they have always been overcome, and that's why companies are still here. There are challenges, and there are things that the companies would like me to say, and address, and we do, informally, sometimes formally, to authorities. It may be rules of government procurement, it could be customs practices, things like that, but they exist everywhere. So that's one of the functions of the embassy, of course, is to try to promote more trade also.
Okay, and coming back to our resort, I wouldn't say that Pattaya is a traditional culture. Do your people, the Swedish people, want more? Do they, do they have complaints about things, or they just take it as a resort and enjoy it?
I think on the whole people enjoy it, or they wouldn't come back. We also have, which I think the proportion is relatively larger in Pattaya and surrounding areas, Rayong for instance, historically people who have settled part-time or for part of the year or the whole year. So I would say people know what they're getting. I haven't been back in a few months, so this is my first visit in a few months, but I understand that there is also a move to facilitate business practices to look at things that perhaps have previously been problematic for some tourists, to have more transparency in business practices, clearer rules, etc. And that, of course, is something to be welcomed. Safety and security of our citizens is, of course, paramount to us. So that's why, if you remember, I complimented the authorities, the very close relationship we have with the Royal Thai Police, with authorities of all kinds here. That's very important to us in assuring that our citizens are treated well and that they can get the assistance they need and can expect.
That should be given, yeah.
And on the whole, that is very good. Again, that's not to say there aren't areas that could be improved on, but I think we have a good dialogue and we use the appropriate channels and opportunities to suggest improvements and to bring grievances when there are such grievances or complaints even. I mean, that's natural. That happens in our country and it happens here. But I and the embassy and the consulate prefer to bring that up in appropriate ways rather than via media.
So via media, what would you like to say to the Swedish people here?
That you continue to enjoy Thailand, that you're good representatives, which I'm sure you are, of Sweden, and that you continue to foster and deepen the already wonderful and strong and warm relations that exist between our two countries. Thank you very much.
Well said. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
May I pose a toast to the health and well-being of His Majesty King Inaugurated of Thailand. To the King. A toast to His Majesty Carl XVI Gustav of Sweden. To the King. Thank you very much and good night.